uncomfortable topic of why men like younger women, or the power imbalance in men and women relationship, or even same-sex relationships.
Yeah, because it actually works the same way. Because with a recent, what's the name of
the dudes in BBC?
No, the ITV guy.
Oh, it's BBC. Sorry.
Yeah, the ITV guy. Because that was quite a very similar situation.
How young was the dude? The guy, the kid?
Because apparently when the relationship started, he was a teenager, right? Which was the whole 19?
13.
No, he can't have been. I don't want to believe.
It was 15.
Oh, really?
No, it was a child. Child.
Because I think, so with that, I think also the power imbalance, and in that situation, I think what made it even worse was the fact that in terms of, I guess, work as well, he was quite high up at ITV. Yeah, he was just a runner, as I understand
affluent person as well, got money.
Yeah.
So that's the power imbalance. That's the power differential.
As well as the age gap, in my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
But most girls would say age is nothing but a number. So as a 30-year-old girl, you could date a 60-year-old man. But if you then look back, when that dude was 30, you were probably just zero month.
Do you know what I
old.
What?
So then if you look at it that way, it becomes...
but
no, it's true though.
My issue is like when I say like... with age and like the power imbalance, I don't so much have an issue when you're an adult. Let's say you're 30, dating a 50-year-old, a 60-year-old. I don't bat an eyelid when I see those sort of situations. Because I'm like, at that point, right, you're an adult. Like you understand these things. What makes me uncomfortable is when there's like 13-year-olds, 14, 15-year-olds, and they're dating men who are like 30, 29. And I'm like, at that point, I'm like, this person is way too young. I remember being 13-year-old, very impressionable. You could probably get me to do like anything and whatever. So for me, that's when the, I guess the dynamics of the relationship makes me uncomfortable in terms of the age gap. But if you're 30-year-old, you're an adult, you're 29, by all means, feel free, if you like. In those situations, I don't bat an eyelid. But I don't know why that is.
Why? Why is that? You don't know?
Because for me, I'm like, you're an adult now. Okay. Whereas when it's like, when you're much younger, where I'm like, you're a teenager, I'm like, I beg, you're like, I feel like you're still developing and you're too impressionable.
It is true though, because I was once a teenager, and I think at that age, 13, 14, 15, even up to 21, 22, I don't think I knew anything that was going on. Yeah. I would still be behind my mother. I don't think I was strong enough. Do you think the individual lifestyle, the individualism in this part of the world, like capitalism and all of that, plays a role in that?
I'm in terms of capitalism playing a role, I think it's accepted. I think more so when...
Because in this, why I asked that question, people here at the age of 16, you already sent your national insurance through the...
Oh, because you need to go and work.
Go work. So almost as if you assuming... I'm not saying back home in Africa, as young as 15, I was already working for my brothers to help with my younger siblings. So it's different. But yeah, officially, you have your national insurance. You're expected to go work, contribute to the system. So it's almost as if you've assumed a proper adult responsibility. Does that give... false sense to ladies in that age to think, okay, I'm an adult, I can make decisions by myself? Because
I don't think so, because I think the only reason why now I kind of look at it and I'm like, I'm comfortable in it. I went to an all-girls school, and for me, I sit back and I think about some of the relationship that some of my peers may have had, and I sit back and I'm like, you could not at that age have consented to that.
Yeah,
I have an issue. And I'm like, there's definitely a power imbalance.
No, there is.
Because at 13, 14, 15, why is a grown man pursuing you?
Even at 18.
And why is a grown man your boyfriend? I think at that age...
Because at 18, I don't think I would go stand outside the secondary school where girls were 14, 15. We always went with our age group. So
but you know what's funny?
I'll be wearing uniform going to another girls' school.
But if you were 24 and you're dating like a 20-year-old, it's fine. Because but 18 and a 14-year-old, even though there's the same age gap,
oh no, because one is assumed an adult.
Yes, adult. This is.
But to me, they're both they're both underdeveloped. They're not really developed. They're still kids to me. Because I was 18 before. I don't know nothing then at the time. Yeah. I was easily impressed by anything. So.
But I think as an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old, there's quite a big gap in terms of development.
My daughter is 16.
Yeah, if she came home and she was like, yeah, hi, meet my boyfriend. He's 29 or he's 25. What would you say?
Last, he don't cast. Everybody go chop. Look, she'll come home and say, what now? She ain't even coming home with a 16-year-old to say I got a boyfriend. No, man. Boy.
No, because I'm
No,
like,
no, she ain't even.
but
no, she
think
ain't coming
about
home.
it, right?
No, she ain't-
If she was about
That boy will lose his limbs.
if she was
in
about
England.
30, 29 and she came home with like a 40,
That boy or
45
that
year old,
man is a man.
you wouldn't
And
bat an
what now?
eyelid.
If she came up,
If
with
she was like 30 and she came home with like a 40,
no,
45 year old.
she's a grown ass adult
Exactly,
now,
that's
so
what
I
I'm
won't be
trying
able
to
I
say.
won't be able to say.
But even
I
then,
would still provide some advice.
yeah, but I don't
experience.
think you would like.
I might do that behind us and say, "Come on, man, just look when that guy's 80 and wrinkled and everything." You
But
would be
it would be a joke.
yeah, but still.
But whereas when it's the other way around, instinctively you would be angry because you would be thinking that this grown ass man is trying to take advantage
I
of
get
my
what you're
daughter.
saying. I do see that aspect of that. If like now I'm 45 and
Yeah.
if I was going out with a 15-year-old, definitely I would be not user, but she'll be easily impressed with things. She'll be easily led because at that age, what does she want? Maybe some Victoria's Secret, some sweets, some money. I'll be able to give her that, but I can't do that to
I don't know
a
about that. I think 15-year-olds these days want designer too.
Oh, okay. See,
you're not on TikTok.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't even know the dating scene. They want what? Balenciagas?
No, because I say this because honestly, because I speak to so I remember a cousin of mine, I think at that time, probably about 19, 20, and he was talking about how he was dating this girl. Girl was like, oh, you need to take me to Novikov. And I think
Novikov now?
Novikov.
Is that a chemical company?
No. It's a high-end restaurant. It's a high-end restaurant.
Novikov. It sounded like Russian.
I've been to Novikov.
Chernobyl.
I've been to Novikov as a working woman.
Jesus, are you sure they're not serving chemicals there?
No,
Novikov. I want to eat there.
Really? No, the food is quite good actually.
Be careful, Novikov.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember sitting there thinking, well, you're like 18, 19, you have no money, you're in university, and how is this the dating standard at such a young age? Because I'm I'm 20 something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm nearly 30.
What did they take you to taste?
No, not at all. I'm nearly 30, and I go to like Novikov and stuff with my friends, and when the bill comes, I'm like, sheesh, it's expensive.
I better not be in this dating.
It's like 200, 300 pounds a pop. So I'm thinking, how are you?
Novikov.
How are you?
How do they cook the food now?
I don't know. Jesus. And I'm like, how are you I'm sitting there thinking, how is you as a 19-year-old and you're dating and that's the expectation?
Yeah.
I think that's mad.
Thank goodness I'm not in the dating scene. So, going back to our conversation.
Yeah.
Now, I sat with a 21-year-old recently.
Yeah.
We were having conversations about something related to work. And this girl was sat next to her boyfriend. And her boyfriend was, I want to say around 29, 30. Yeah. He looked fully matured. Mm-hmm. Physique and everything. It looked like he understood what I was saying. But the young woman didn't have a clue about anything I was saying. And I felt very unease with that conversation I was having with them. And I thought, is you not too young to date this guy? I'm not saying you're too young to date. Should you not be looking around your age group, like 23, 24?
But did you think that because when they were interacting, you saw that there was like a power imbalance?
Yeah, there was a power imbalance.
Because maybe if it was a 21-year-old who was, I don't know, a bit more aware of circumstances, dating a 29-year-old, and you saw the interactions and you didn't see that there was a gap, you wouldn't have gone there straight away. Because I always feel like there's certain people develop perhaps at a slower rate than others. And some people are more exposed at certain ages. That's
where I was going. So the experience matters.
Yeah, experience is completely different.
So
some 21-year-old have more life experiences because of
that's the key
because of the life that they've been dealt in comparison to others.
But I don't think
some of us, well, if you've lived a very sheltered lifestyle or more.
But I think at that age you're still very, very young. Look, somebody was asking me yesterday, said, what age would you advise women to get married? And men, I said, knowing what I know now, I would say in your 30s.
Mm-hmm. Why's that?
And she asked the following question, what about having children? I said, in your 30s. And she said, why? I said, because I think that's when you're properly matured.
I agree.
You're properly matured at the time. For guys too.
Yeah.
Because I used my own life as an example. I said, your 20s should be, I'm not saying, when I say explore, I don't mean you should sow your wide oats or take
it's about discovering who you are as a person.
It's you to understand who you are, travel if you want to travel, if you have the opportunity
about
to
gaining
do
life
so.
experiences.
It's also getting life experience, getting education and work and your ambition out of the way gradually. Then when all of this life has hit you hard, all your rough edges are not smoothened, you come into your 30s, then you're ready. Yeah. Then if you were with somebody at that time or you were seeing one or two persons, you would know who you would settle with. You would
Yeah.
know who's flattering you,
Yeah.
who's going to lie to you. Because if I look back in so many relationships that I know, including mine, I will use mine as an example. I think we made mistakes. We made mistake getting married at that age. We got married and started having children. Although some of us have managed to, along that life, get our education out of the way, push our ambitions in respect to our work and businesses.
So
but it is
you
very
thought you-
difficult. I would say not get all of that out of the way, but do that while you come into your 30s, get married, have your children.
Okay.
That's what I would say. But I know people will frown at this. I'm not saying don't do what you want to do. I'm just saying, from my experience, a 21-year-old is so
and
young.
you change quite a lot. And I think
Yeah.
what you see also, I think a lot of the time, I was actually having this conversation with somebody about getting married young and how you change so much in that process. Because at 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old, like you change so much. So by the time you're 30 or 40, you're not the same person. You've had life
I understand.
and if your partner isn't able to adapt to those changes, you then have a big problem on your hands.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So we're very immature at those years.
Yeah.
And people will say, what about our parents? They married when they were 16, blah, blah, blah. If you believe in evolution and how we evolve, those times are different from now.
Yeah.
They come in, look, if you...
And also, they were dying earlier.
No, look
at
at
the
it.
moment,
Look at this,
we're living for a very long time.
Look at this analogy. We got this glass of water, right?
Yeah.
If we bring a can of Coke and we start pouring that Coke into this, it will get darker for a bit and becomes lighter. It's because we put all more water on it, it becomes lighter and lighter.
Yeah.
So the further we get away from our ancestors, we almost becoming like counterfeit. The things we can't even deal with now, our ancestors, our parents, our forebears, they will be able to deal with it. We catch feelings so easy these days. Feelings never did a thing to our parents. You see what I mean? So at the time, I don't know much about women analogy.
Yeah.
At that time, they were 12, 13, 14, having children. If any doctor could say why they were able to do that. Now, whether it's because of the food we eat, I don't know, that make us not able to do what our people used to do.
Yeah.
Then they were wiser, they were smarter than, I'm telling you, 16-year-olds of 40 years ago, wiser than 40 of now. We don't know anything because we catch feelings so easy. So we move by feelings and we sleep with the next man or sleep with the next woman and we have children. And by the time we're 5 years into that, bodies change, everything changes, and we're falling apart. You see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I think those age are very mature age to really say, I found the person I want to settle down with.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I don't think we should be thinking about that at that time.
And I absolutely agree with you, because I'm like sit back and I'm thinking about the relationship I was in when I was about 18. Oh yeah, I thought I was in love. And now looking back at it, no, honestly. And now looking back at it, I'm like,
exactly what
I question it.
So
quite a bit actually.
So it's the same thing for an older man going for a younger girl.
Yeah.
I know most stereotypes will be, oh yeah, the younger girl, they know streets, they know what. It's not that. I think it's also because some relationships, you treat your wife as a wife, husband as a husband. I don't know what that means. I keep telling people, you have to treat your wife as a slut too. Your wife got to treat you as a hood rat too. If you don't do those things, somebody else is willing outside to do it. So, for example, I'm going to be very raw. If your wife doesn't go down on you and you don't go down on your wife, man, the next dude outside, young or old, will be going down.
But here's the thing, right?
So this is the stereotype. This is the stereotype.
I know it's a stereotype.
And the other side of it is about virility. So a man who is 60 or 40 or 50, now dating a younger girl who's 20 or 25 or 30, he wants to prove to his friends, I still got it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, if I don't have
I'm not a man, so you have to break it down.
I'm not 60. I've listened to 60 years.
Yeah, I know you're not 60.
But I've listened to them talk. So for them, they're saying, when I'm with this 20-year-old, and she makes me feel alive. I'm invigorated. I can even run the marathon. You know what I mean? I don't know whether on bed or outside. I don't know, the London Marathon. But it's proving to their friends that I still got it.
Fair,
I'm still rocking this girl. Like Rupert Murdoch. You see how wrinkled the old man is, but his bank account ain't wrinkled.
Every time he's got a new wife.
Yeah, his bank account ain't wrinkled. You see the wives he's got, I could never score any of those. Hot people.
You just need more money.
Exactly what I'm saying.
If you have money, I think you have more. So
is it the money that the older people have, the comfortability?
I say this all the time.
The security in that.
I don't know what it is, but when I speak of like high profile relationships, right? I think money plays a huge part in it, because women like stability.
Okay.
And it's about being with somebody that can provide.
So for a regular 60-year-old, not Rupert Murdoch type, so they would have had
But for a regular 60-year-old,
they would have had their freedom pass. So you're not paying for bus pass again. So they'll have discounted taxes. So she can write taxes to Novichok. Okay, let's go. Which one they have again? They probably have the disability badge to enter some restaurants and pay discounted fare.
Yeah.
I guess like that. Okay, so stability, yeah.
So I think that there is something that attracts. There is.
Okay, let's go deeper. For the girl, I've heard is the father figure complex.
Oh,
and some people will say maybe they never had a better relationship with their dad. I don't think that's the case. I think
necessarily.
They had very good relationship with their dad, and they want that replica.
Yeah.
For somebody to be able to control, guide them.
Yeah.
Because they don't get that from their age mates.
Age mates, yeah. So, I can see how that's actually a valid argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and depending on your personality and your character as well. Yeah. Because because sometimes I feel like even though I don't really like this rhetoric of being a strong woman, but I think when you have a certain sort of personality, because I think I have quite a strong personality, and I feel like when I date men who are closer in age to me, I'm just like, bro.
You're more matured.
Yeah.
I see.
And I'm like, I'm sitting there like, yo.
You get that?
Like, how are you not seeing this?
I see.
Like, and I end up because of that. I from my experience, I feel like I date probably older men because at the end of it, I want you to teach me something. I think there's that kind of like I want to learn from you, and I feel like a lot of times when I date men who are closer in age to me, I'm there like, yo, you're dumb, not in a rude way.
Yeah, I get it.
I feel like there is that gap.
Because the priorities are different, you know.
Yeah, also the priorities are different.
Yeah. If they're into football, they're not much. Again,
but I don't even have an issue with you being into all of like those things. But it's just like
no, but again, it's also knowing when to stop.
Yeah.
And attend to other things, right?
Yeah. And I think also there's an art that's lost in our generation in terms of like just being able to have a conversation with somebody about just random topics.
So the older man probably is more patient to have that conversation.
Yeah.
With a younger girl.
There's only so many how are you doing?
But is it not weird? Is it not weird if the younger woman comes into the relationship like looking at, that's my father figure, and the man is looking, wow, that's my daughter.
Oh, that would make.
My daughter's no, they don't have to verbalize it.
Yeah.
Well, it's internal, like.
You feel like it's maybe. I don't.
And some girls will call you daddy.
Oh no, absolutely not. Not interested in doing that. See, for me, that makes me uncomfortable.
So, okay.
Because I don't understand.
You wouldn't call another man daddy?
No. When you're not my daddy.
Okay.
I have a daddy at home. No. Because I think that's weird. Okay. But that's just me. But I know some people are into that.
So what would you call the older guy? Baby?
Just babe.
You call a 16-year-old babe?
Yeah.
And you wonder why he starts acting like a babe. And you wonder why your 30-year-old is acting like a babe because you call him babe.
No, you just be like babe.
Babe crave baby milk. And you wonder why they're acting dumb. Oh my God.
You just be like babe. But I don't know, why does that have to be?
You call a 60-year-old man babe. You should be saying granddad. Or just call her 60s plus. Listen, my freedom pass. How are you?
You're so silly. I mean, I think there's like a cutting point. Okay, at this age, at 30, I don't think I'll date a 60-year-old.
But I'll tell you the truth, though. I think for me,
I'll date someone in their 40s.
I think there is fun in that, though.
Yeah,
it's big, not just fun, but there is something about life that comes out of that sort of relationship.
Oh yeah,
whether it's the man really gaining or the woman gaining too, I don't know. But
I think you learn a lot.
The woman learn a lot. Okay.
Yeah, I can only speak from my experience. So I think you learn a lot.
Okay.
And there's certain things that perhaps you might not. They give a different perspective on life.
I see, because they've been there.
Because they've been there.
They've been through those years.
Yeah. Definitely different perspective. I'll say that.
Okay.
But then also, I mean, it's a personal preference because I have friends who are like, yeah, I won't date somebody over this age. And bang on. Like, if you tell her you're this age, she's like, yeah, goodbye, I'm not interested. Because that's her preference.
I see.
And she always makes a joke, Nana likes old men. And I'm like, not really. It just so happens that.
Rupert Murdoch, you hear?
No.
If Rupert was coming, if Rupert was coming, you won't?
To be fair, billionaire.
Not billionaire, it's the most powerful man on earth.
Okay, maybe.
That's what I call it.
Yeah.
You should, though. I beg. I want that power structure. See you, I beg. If Rupert came calling, please go. If you come calling, go, please. please. Go and see Rupert, because we don't know when he will kick the bucket. Maybe it's your turn. He will kick the bucket. His empire will become yours. Anyway, I'm not saying chase. I'm not saying to people to chase Sugar daddies. Do you call them sugar daddies?
Yeah, they're still called sugar daddies.
The older people.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's the thing. It depends on the nature.
Sugar comes with it.
It depends on the nature of your relationship.
I thought
because you're dating an older person doesn't make them a sugar daddy.
So what brings the sugar? Is it because it's bringing sugar?
But I feel like with the sugar daddy, it's purely. I think that's like a relationship of convenience whereby you're using this person for one particular thing only.
Okay.
I don't think sugar daddy relationships are. I don't think you go into sugar daddy relationship expecting.
Would that be the same thing that 13-year-old or 14-year-old was doing with the 30-year-old man at the time?
I don't think that's sugar daddy.
It was buying.
I think
gifts?
that's exploitation.
Exploitation. But she could have seen that as a.
Nah. I don't really want to view it from like a 13-year-old perspective. I'm not interested in what a 13-year-old child has to tell me about their relationship with a 30-year-old man. Full stop. That's just I'm not interested.
On that note, we will end the conversation.